It's your boy Chad Macc, you know the vibes. You feel me? Welcome back to another episode of Let Me Talk My Truth. You feel me? For this episode, if you haven't seen the news or you lived under a rock, you've seen what's been going on. I said in the last video, 2025 started out on some wild joint. You feel me? Buddy down in New Orleans, he just clocked out up here. And then his mans in Las Vegas blowing up a Tesla truck, a Cyber truck. Man, look, I told y'all in the last episode, bro, 2025 gonna start off on some wild joint, and y'all didn't believe me, son. And look what's been going on. And it's come to find out, two of them brothers was in the army. I ain't seen no army officials came forward and saying nothing. I ain't seen no army officials came through and saying nothing. So the army gonna keep quiet after they two veterans that were in the same unit did terrorist acts, and the army ain't saying nothing yet. What y'all hiding, gang? What y'all hiding in the army? Because two of y'all veterans came true and just did domestic terrorist acts, and nobody give out no official statements, bro. That's crazy. But and I find it very interesting too, because this got a whole conspiracy feeling on it. You feel me? Watch the clips, man, because this joint ain't. Watch the clips. Watch the clips.
From Fox, we actually do have an update for you. That suspect involved in the New Orleans attack has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar. Let me pull up an image of the screen here as I do read this to you. This is the latest just in here from the FBI right now. Today at this morning, 3:15 in the morning Central Time, a man drove a pickup truck into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 10 people and injuring dozens of others. This is a statement from the FBI. I'm reading all of it to you as we do learn this new information. After hitting the crowd, he exited the vehicle and fired upon local law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire and the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 law enforcement officers were injured and transported to a local hospital. The subject has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar. He is a U.S. citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to have been rented, and we are working to confirm how this subject came into possession of the vehicle. An ISIS flag was located in the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. Weapons and a potential IED were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also located in the French Quarter. Again, that's the area where all of this has happened. The FBI's special agent bomb technicians are working with our law enforcement partners to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they will work to render those devices safe. The FBI is the lead investigative agency, and we are working with partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We are aggressively running down all leads to identify any possible associates of the subject. All right, again, we were just listening in there to those brief statements from law enforcement as we are learning this breaking news that we're bringing to you here on Live Now from Fox. This is a part of this FBI statement that I am now going to read to you in full again, as we do now know the name of the man who drove that truck. He is the suspect of all of this. So again, today at approximately 3:15 a.m. Central Time, an individual drove a pickup truck into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 10 and injuring dozens of others. After hitting the crowd, he exited the vehicle and fired upon local law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire and the subject was pronounced deceased at the scene. 2 law enforcement officers were injured and transported to a local hospital. What we are learning right now, this breaking news on Live Now from Fox, is that subject, as they're calling him, has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar. He's a U.S. citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to have been rented, and now the FBI is working to confirm how he came into possession of that vehicle. Another thing we are learning right now, as of now, is this ISIS flag that was located in the vehicle. The FBI is working to determine the potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations that he may have had. Some other new information for you as I continue to read this statement. Weapons and a potential IED were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also found in the French Quarter. The FBI special agent bomb technicians are working with our local law enforcement partners to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they will work to render those devices safe. The FBI, as the lead investigative agency, we are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We are aggressively running down all leads to identify any possible associates of the subject.
Here's everything you know about the horrific attack that happened in New Orleans and also the explosion that happened in Las Vegas. New Orleans attacker has been identified as Shamsud-Din Jabbar. Now, do not let them try to say this is a legal immigration problem or a terrorist attack, because he served in the U.S. Army actively for over 10 years, as you can see from the picture here. Now, he's a man from Houston, Texas that rented a car off of Turo, drove it to New Orleans, and then carried out this horrific attack at 3 a.m. while having explosives in the back of the car and also a gun that he got into a firefight, injured 2 cops, and then was shot himself. Now, some people are calling this New Orleans attack and the Cybertruck explosion in front of the Trump Hotel a coincidence. I don't. This is where things get interesting. Well, not interesting, iniquitous. The driver of the Cybertruck explosion is Matthew Livelsberger, who also served in the U.S. Army and was a special beret. Now, the crazy coincidence is him and Jabbar served at the same exact military base. Now, what are the chances that 2 people that served in our U.S. Army at the same exact military base carry out an attack on the January 1st, one in front of the Trump Hotel that is going to have a New Year's celebration with Trump and Elon Musk there, used the Cybertruck, who also rented it off Turo. And Shamsud-Din Jabbar also rented his car off Turo and then drove it into New Orleans and also died in the act. People are trying to call the New Orleans attack an attack of terror because there was an ISIS flag that was found. Personally, it just doesn't make any sense to me because this is a person that went and served in Afghanistan. So you're trying to tell me he got radicalized over there by ISIS and then came back over here, waited this many years to carry out this type of attack in New Orleans? It just logically doesn't really line up to me. With Matthew, they're trying to frame this explosion as like, oh, this could be an overheated Tesla car battery, but he had fireworks, supposedly explosives, and they haven't really identified or found his body. To me, it seems like he was trying to send some sort of message. Rest in peace to the people that lost their lives, the people that were injured in the New Orleans attack, and the person that died in the Tesla explosion. But I think we need to do a little bit more digging before we call this a terrorist attack and this a coincidence and blaming the Cybertruck itself. I think there was some sort of connection, both military background, both U.S. citizens, so it's not illegal immigration. I doubt it was an ISIS planned out attack. I think there's something deeper here. 2 U.S. citizens and 2 former people that served in our military carrying an attack out on the same exact day to try to send what type of a message? I think that's the question that we need to know. The story just keeps getting weirder and weirder because they said they found this ID inside the Tesla Cybertruck after the fact that they also said he was burnt to a crisp so bad that they couldn't even identify his body. But the coroner also said, well, we know he shot himself in the head before with the Desert Eagle, then blew up the Cybertruck. I don't even know how that's possible, but he is Special Forces Green Beret, but it seems weird that's how he would execute his attack. I'm sorry, if somebody wants to carry out an attack, this is the guy that would do it successfully. Shoot himself in the head, then blowing up the Cybertruck with fireworks in it, while also having 2 semi-automatic weapons and a Desert Eagle, not using any of them. It just doesn't, it makes zero sense. He specialized in bombs, FYI. They're now trying to find a motive because the political motive, there's really nothing that points to anything. He had a nephew that was pro-Trump. He had an ex-girlfriend that was pro-Bernie Sanders, but there was really nothing on his social media that said he was diehard either way. He was recently in a dispute with his wife because she thought that he was cheating and she kicked him out over Christmas. And he actually starts texting his ex-girlfriends after he's been kicked out and then shoots himself in the face and blows up the truck after buying 2 semi-automatic weapons, which makes it seem like he was trying to carry out an attack but then blew the truck up. But the coroner said that he shot himself before the truck blew up. So what was he even trying to do? What message was he trying to send? Interesting, because he's a 37-year-old white male. It's not looked at as terrorism whatsoever, and they're trying to paint what political side and what political spectrum he was on. Maybe this wasn't political at all. And if anything, 37 years old, 20 plus years in the Army, driving a Cybertruck, if I had to guess, and he pulled up to Trump Tower, either he was MAGA before or he was currently MAGA now. And people on Trump's side are like, well, his ex like Bernie Sanders, so he must be a crazy leftist that was trying to blow up and stop Elon's and Trump's thing from happening. But it's like, well, that would just be terrible execution on his part because he's been 20 years in the Army, Special Forces, Green Beret, and that's how he would carry out his attack. There's just something fishy. There's something weird about this story.
As you all saw from the clips, bro, was this planned, man? Like, was they planned? Did you saw from the news coverage? It's crazy, son. And then they said Buddy was planting IEDs around in New Orleans. If y'all don't know what IEDs is, them some powerful ass bombs. You feel me? You can splice them with C4, and hey, that ain't my business. But look, the Army ain't give out no official statement yet. And then Buddy's a veteran, and then plus he got ties to ISIS. And then his mans blew up the joint in Las Vegas. Mind you, when Trump and Elon was there. And then they put out to the public it was a fireworks accident. And y'all think 2025 start off calm and collective. Nah. Is this all coincidence? Is this all conspiracy joint? Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to tell y'all right now, we ain't seen nothing yet. 2025 just started, and they already got massacres and killings already, son. But hey, that ain't my business, though. All I'm saying is, watch. Y'all think we just seen something? We ain't seen nothing yet, man. But make sure y'all keep yourselves, hey, strapped up. You feel me? And keep your eyes open. Because I'm telling you, a lot of stuff about to go down in 2025. Mark my words. Come back to this video. Y'all gonna be like, damn, he really said it. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, son. Because this joint feeling a little too conspiracy for me. Because it was 2 Army brothers, 2 Army veterans. What made them do that? What pushed them in that direction? You feel me? I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Because if Buddy was in the Army and he was showing signs of, why they ain't send Buddy to behavior health? Why ain't they send Buddy to resiliency training? You feel me? But that ain't my business though. But I appreciate y'all, you feel me, for coming through and watching the videos. If you guys got any comments, drop it down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you feel me? I'm gonna catch y'all later on the next video. It's your boy Chad Macc. I'm out here. Be easy.